What's going on, guys? It's Kyle again with DTOM Knives and Gear, and today I have a super cool knife, one that I've never handled before. This is the Microtech Socom Elite Auto. Super cool knife. Stay tuned. Welcome back, guys. Woo, super excited about this one today. This knife is brought to you by my great friend, Big Bore Knife and Gear. Scott over at Big Bore Knife and Gear sent me a big package with a bunch of knives for me to be able to try out and review. Scott, I thank you so much. This is one of them. This is a knife that I have heard about and seen for a long time, never have handled it, and we're going to go over it today, and it is super cool. This is the Microtech Socom Elite. This is the auto version. They do have a manual version. And this thing is actually really cool. I will say that when I first saw these knives, I saw a lot of people I respect in the community get these in hand and just basically fall in love with them. And I was not one at first glance to really be that guy. I was like, I don't know if I like that or not. It kind of looked like it wouldn't be comfortable in hand. One thing that throws me off is the tip down carry instead of tip up carry. I do prefer tip up carry, but having this thing in pocket for the last few days, I have a little bit of a different opinion than when I first saw this knife online before I got it in hand. But first things first, we're going to go over some materials. What are the materials of this knife? Okay, well, we have an aluminum scales, aluminum body with this signature. I mean, you know it's a Socom Elite whenever you see this texture right here. And I don't even know what this is. This is almost feels rubbery texture that is kind of inlaid to these aluminum handles. The aluminum handles feel very, very sturdy. And this particular model is in a green color, which I dig a lot. I love that. And of course, like I said, it has the tip down pocket clip. Now the pocket clip works awesome. I will say that the pocket clip works just like a dream. Well, trying to get this to focus. It works really good as far as going in and out of the pocket, does what it's supposed to. And it's just that tip down carry just kind of throws me for a loop because I'm just not used to handling it that way. But we'll go over that just a little bit. This one is in CTS 204P, which, as you guys know, is similar in composition to CPM 20CV and to Bowler M390. So one of my favorite steels, at least a variant of it, in this guy, which is super great. Microtech makes just absolutely great hard use knives. This one is it's got a beautiful stone wash to it. Not all, I mean, these come in different variations. You can see this beautiful, come on camera. Come on, there we go. This is the branding on the one side. You can see the 204P on this side, the Socom Elite Auto Microtech, the serial number, and USA and its birth date, which I think is super cool. On the other side, you have a completely sterile blade. That's awesome. So really cool, really sharp looking knife. I always thought it would look good. I just didn't know how well it was going to. Hey now, come on. I didn't know how it was really going to feel in hand. So, come on camera. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. So that's going to lead us to the ergonomics. Was something that I didn't like. I didn't think I was going to like. I got it in hand and I totally get the design now. This thing feels really good in the hand. It's not the thinnest knife in the world, but you can kind of see how it's thicker up here than it is down here. Just to kind of give you an idea. So the thickness in the very top is about 563 thousandths, and then down here at the bottom is about 463 thousandths. So it tapers a full 100 thousandths of an inch from here to here, and it's a really good design because it feels great in the hand and it really kind of molds into there the way they do it. I didn't think I was going to like that, but wow, does it work. Another thing that I thought was interesting was this basically negative angle ramp, because you know on like Spyderco's like this, you have a ramp that goes up where you put your thumb, and on this guy it goes down. And I thought that was kind of weird looking, but where my hand sits and then right there where my thumb is, it's perfect. It really is perfect. I didn't really know what I was going to think about it, but that feels really good. I have to admit. So my thoughts have definitely changed on this knife. It's just one of those where I didn't really think that I was going to like. And then I'm telling you guys, when you first get this out of the box, if you've never opened a side auto knife, or even if you have to be careful with this guy. This awesome little teardrop button right here actuates it. And when I first took this out of the box that Scott sent me and hit that button, it seriously almost flew out of my hand. This thing hits so hard that I really couldn't believe it. This thing is a beast. Basically, you wouldn't even have to cut the guy if you had to. You just had to put him somewhere in this area and then hit that button. Bam, he's knocked out. But that's how hard it hits. It's super fun and super cool. But like I said, you've got to make sure you have a good purchase on that knife to be able to get that thing out. I mean, I've gotten used to it now, but when I first got it, man, I was like, man, I don't know, man. If I carry this thing out and hold it, it's going to come out of my hand. I'm going to have to buy Scott another knife. So it did make me nervous. But now carrying it for a day or two, I am super comfortable with it. And now it's like, yeah, that's nice. One thing with the tip down carry, as you'll notice, you see this little, this little hook where it hits them. And there's another thing, that massive stop pin that's back there to stop this bad boy. But you can tell where that thing ramps up. And so that's the area for the stop pin. And being a righty and this going, into the pocket, putting my hand in there, I did catch my hand on this. Now, granted, guys, I've got big old meaty hands, so it might not be a problem for a lot of folks. But I did kind of catch my hand on that little guy. Not a huge deal. One of the reasons that I'm not super keen on tip down carry is for those particular reasons, but not a big deal. One thing that I do absolutely love on this knife, you see that? That is a glass break. Hold on one second. I want to show you what's not a glass break. Sorry about that, guys. I thought I had these knives in hand. I didn't. Okay, so this is a glass break. You see that little ball right there, little carbide ball in that nice little package. Not this atrocity and this atrocity. These glass breakers I don't like. Hey, they're functional, they work, but this is how you put a glass breaker on a knife. Thank you, Microtech. Now, this is also a Microtech, so they do it on their OTFs. It's just one of those deals. But if I'm going to have a glass breaker, which I'm not, I don't have to have a glass breaker on my knives. In fact, sometimes I don't really want it on there. But if it's going to be, that's the way to do it. Very, very good job, Microtech. Now, since I have these guys out, I do have another Microtech that Scott sent me that we'll be reviewing in a little bit. And you can kind of see how it compares to the Socom Elite. This is the Microtech Combat Troubadour. So you can see relatively same size knives, and they're big old boys. The Socom Elite is big. Here it is against the other OTF. This is the Cobratech, which is the FX1. So you can see the Socom Elite dwarfs that thing. Let's go ahead and do some of our regular size comparisons here. There it is against the Paramilitary 2, and here it is against the Para 3. So very large knife. It's not that bad as far as thickness, but it is super duper long. We will go ahead and put it up against some of the others. This is what I call a, relatively large knife, the Spyderco Shaman. So as you can see, it dwarfs that. And then the only other big boy that I got right now, these are pretty similar in size. This is the full-size Crooked River. So gives you an idea how big this guy is. Let's go ahead and get some real specs on it. Has an overall length of 9 inches. It has a blade length of 4 inches, cutting edge of 3.75. The blade width is about 1.125, and it has 190 thousandths thick blade. Now, those are good specs. But the one thing I want you to take away, first of all, look at the tip. That's a beefy tip. It's not going to be, real easy to break. It can break because I've seen thicker ones, but very, very thick or very good size tip. But I measured this thing behind the edge, and I was floored. I had to re-zero my calipers. This thing on this portion of the blade is like 10 thousandths behind the edge. Gets up a little bit thicker around here, 18 to 20 thousandths. 10 thousandths behind the edge. And I consider one of my sliciest knives to be the TRM Atom, and it's not that thin. So definitely performance driven, especially with the 204P steel. This is going to be a workhorse and can cut. It is going to be a slicey thing. I've cut just the regular stuff, your cardboard and your paper while I was at work. And man, did it surprise me and how well it is. Because, you get knives that I think of workhorses like the Spartaco Shaman. It's nowhere near that thickness. It's, this is about 25 thousandths behind the edge. So I was very, very excited when I put those, put the calipers on there. It was like, sweet. So definitely, guys, if you want a hard use, but a slicer, this is definitely the way to go. Microtech is just known for making just badass knives. And this is just another example of what they do. Guys, this is really going to be about it. I really have fallen to where I like this knife a lot more now that I've actually got to put it in hand. I'm so happy that Scott sent this thing to me so I could experience it. I don't know if I was to purchase one, if I would get the auto or if I would get the manual. Would lean maybe towards the manual, really because when I use a knife, especially for an EDC, I want to be able to close it with one hand, and you can totally do that with this thing. You can, do it just like that. It's just not as fidgety and as, easy for me to close with one hand with that button lock and the spring, of course, because it does fire out there like a rocket. So that's really the only thing that would probably make me buy the manual versus the auto. This thing is fun. You pull this out with your friends and they see that thing rocket out and they're like, holy crap. It's fast. So guys, definitely check this thing out. You can get them. These things run different prices. I think the last that I saw these things were about $290 on Blade HQ. So very good value, I believe. You're getting aluminum handles, but you're getting a premium steel. The aluminum is very strong, very well done. So it's not going to be an issue. If you have a problem with doing tip down carry, you're not going to like this, but it does ride relatively deep. You get a little bit of coming out of your pocket, but this is mainly a tactical knife. So that's just the nature of the beast. Guys, if you like this kind of stuff, hit the like button. If you want to see more, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There's going to be a lot more to come. I still have a lot of knives to do from the box that Scott sent me. And I believe today is the 9th. So I believe the 10th, I should be receiving my Going Gear EDC subscription box. So definitely stay tuned for that. It's always exciting to open that up with you guys and seeing what we get on that. That's such a great deal at Going Gear. If you're not subscribed to Big Bore Knife and Gear, head on over there right now and subscribe. Also check him out on Instagram. He does a lot of cool knife mods. He does anodization. Speaking of that, boom. That is the beautiful job that he did for me. If you are a subscriber to the channel, you've seen this knife a time or two, and you will continue to see this knife because I absolutely love it. He did a beautiful, beautiful job on this ANO, so just get used to it. It's going to happen. Guys, that's about it. I really appreciate you stopping by and checking it out. Stay tuned for more, and we will see you in the next one.